Let's get ready to...
What the hell is even that?
That is one big pilot.
For a modern gaming audience.
Why are you running?
Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
We're communists.
Woke.
Would you please get your politics out of my comic books? I'm like, what comic books are you reading?
I'm cured! Praise God!
He vatored!
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
For a modern gaming audience.
If I speak, I am in big trouble. In big trouble.
Welcome to Nerd Wars. Sorry about that. Welcome to Nerd Wars.
Please clap.
Welcome to the greatest Cleopatra 2525 stream on YouTube. Yes! We finally did it, guys! We're number one because we're the only ones talking about the greatest show ever made, Cleopatra 2525. But more on that later. Patrick, how you doing today?
I'm feeling like a pirate ready to talk about a crew of skeletons. Yeah, no, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling pretty good. I don't know why. Just feeling happy. It's like everything's going right and the timeline's correcting.
I'm gonna have to write you up for leaving the show early today. You like to tell chat? Would you like to tell class why you're leaving us today, Badger?
I would like to do my land acknowledgement. I also put in the appropriate papers. I'm going on open bar to talk Skeleton Crew with Mr. Critical Drinker, the known terrorist of all video game developers.
So I'm not a giant grifter for calling this stream open bar pregame, is what you're saying. It's 100% justified and not grifting?
I know it was completely hoping that when we made this, it would be contingent on every once in a while me going on, but it's actually worked out that way. So no, you are not grifting. It's yay.
Fake it till you make it, for real. Well, Price, when did you get here? Price of Reason, everybody. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's up? I'm always
chilling.
on time.
I know, exactly. I was literally thinking, I'm like, oh, it's about to end. I bet he's about to show up. And it was literally, I think, 2 seconds later. Boop. Price is here.
Very
and
magical.
Don't you worry. There's absolutely nothing to talk about in January as far as movies go. So I know you'll be super excited to tell us about Den of Thieves 2 Pantera. Whatever the hell that is.
I watched it, and I guess I'm the only one that watched it. I did a review that until recently, episode 3 of Skeleton Crew was my worst performing video. I feel like now it's going toe-to-toe with Den of Thieves 2.
What?
I kind of was looking forward to it, but...
Ice Cube Jr.? Well, don't you worry. It's number 6 on our tab list. Matthew sneaking in here. He wants to do his introduction for 50 knocks. A legend left us to... Oh, wait. Oh, no. Is this actually bad? Oh, wait.
Yeah.
A legend left us to have a damn fine cup of coffee and a slice of cherry pie tonight. Rest in peace, David Lynch. What?
Yeah, David Lynch.
Wasn't he about to...
Bob Uecker died.
Who... Is he going to be doing America's Squid Game or what? Haven't we been talking about David Lynch recently?
That's David Fincher. David Lynch.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Yo, Frenchman. All right. And this one I'm going to pre-read, so I make sure I come in with the right energy. Oh, yes.
He left Hollywood. Okay.
That's usually what Josiah Rises does.
Yeah,
thumbnails, right?
That is what he's referencing. No, it was talking about the hiker Julian or whatever he was. It's like, oh, he left Hollywood. He's dead. Yeah. All right. Skull Muncher. Yeah, I think you're all right with this one.
From Skull.
Oh. No. Skull Muncher.
You got this one, Badge.
Yeah, sure. Los Angeles and San Francisco voters are the dumbest NPCs ever.
Sorry, there's a reason I had to read this one.
To recall new scum, but they let him back in. They have Biden's mental prowess. And to be fair, I'm not in Los Angeles. I'm in Long Beach. Thank you.
I know, but when he says Los Angeles and San Francisco voters.
Damn lizard man.
But are you starting to see any sort of a change where you are living? Are you feeling any of the magnification?
Long Beach was always insular. Like I told you before the election, Papa Badger was working out at the park, and someone, when he was leaving, an old lady said, "Remember, vote Trump." So that was before the election. So yeah, we've always been a little separated. And if you look at that map of California, it's pretty red. It's pretty red outside of SF and LA specifically.
All right. Well, hold off on bad mouthing you from being a Californian for at least 10 to 15.
When it
at
falls
least
off into the sea from the great earthquake and it becomes Escape from LA, just
thoughts
keep
and
it there,
prayers.
all right?
Money, please. Oh, Badger's dead. It's so sad. Money, please. A month later, we'll find a new the angry weasel. All right, let's get into things. We got super important stuff to talk about. I definitely didn't have to search far and wide for today's stories. Asmongold, this has been a developing story. This isn't old news. This has been a developing story. Asmongold calls out #1 world gamer Elon Musk. Says he'll stream to Twitter/X for an entire year straight. If Elon can prove that he personally leveled up his top ranking Path of Exile 2 account, something is afoot. As we all know, Elon is the #1 Diablo 4 player, obviously. And hey, that was pretty cool. But some of us wondered, how do you have the time for that? All right, so Elon has a history of some occasional shysterism, we will say, and he's back at it for some reason. He didn't need to. Elon Musk's character is currently level 97, aka rank 12 on hardcore. Permanent death mode. That's what he plays on like Diablo 4, which is why you're able to say, oh, I'm the best. I did the hardest dungeon on hardcore. I'm the best in the world. So the amount of time it would take to get to that, it's not possible for him to have done. And a lot of people noticed this, and this guy made a video and definitely exposed him. Yeah, the grind it takes to get there, like the people who are playing it as a job, even they, like it's number 12. And the higher the level you go, the more XP it takes to gain another level. Like it gets exponential. So it's basically not possible. Yeah, his Elon's map. Yeah, one of the tabs is Elon's map, which is kind of weird. And then he doesn't know how to use the maps. This is the in-game content. It's actually kind of weird. You have to like grab one of the maps and like click it and then another node and then click some stuff and drag something. It's kind of weird. But if you're level 97, you have been doing this like thousands of times. And he doesn't know how to use the map. Amongst other things, no inventory management, no loot filter. Like he lets all the loot drop, and then the reason you have loot filter is because in these games you get too much loot, you can't see it, and like the rarest thing in the game drops, and he doesn't even pick it up. And he doesn't have the loot filter on. It doesn't have the good enough mechanics. He's dragging items instead of clicking them, using default settings. Can't describe map content. His gear is an issue. Trading activity. And then while he was doing his Twitter Spaces talking to the AFD woman, he also... yeah, there we go. Was apparently playing the game. Could have been on the second monitor or something, but it's not looking very good. And then Asmongold made a video about it, and now Asmongold is been unfollowed by Elon on Twitter. Thoughts?
And uncheckmarked, and that's
no, but the checkmark I heard was
concerning.
back. I thought that the checkmark
Is it?
was
I didn't know it got to blue. Yeah, and it said how it's a freedom of speech, not like freedom of paid speech or something like that. Yeah.
So
This in the
yeah.
H1Bs, he needs to take a little break from Twitter because
It's if you want us to put everything on your everything app and then you're gonna willy-nilly demonetize and take away people's check marks just based on your own personal opinion, even though they've broken no terms of service, that's a fucking problem. That's a real big problem. You need to address that. And you like right now, you need to have some sort of like constitution of X where even you are not allowed to do what you just did because someone called you on your bullshit. You take away their check mark and
possible that he
demonetize them.
changed his profile picture because he has a check mark now. So some people think that he changed his profile picture, which is why
Price, that's great. I'm extending this to all the other people who has definitely
Well, also
de-check mark
does.
and demonetized. That is
that's
not a
fair
mistake.
enough. That's fair
Yeah.
enough.
well, that was why I brought up the H1Bs because he also everyone was very unhappy with his stance, and then he reacted very poorly to it,
Right.
and then he started like demonetizing and
That
taking check
part.
marks, which Mr. Free Speech Absolutist is not a good look. And then, oh, hey, that's cool that you're #1 Diablo player. Oh, now you're #1 Path of Exile 2 player also?
Although I don't
okay,
like the
because-
idea of removing check marks, I am conflicted because there's a few people that lost them that were kind of douches. But I understand why it's important to promote freedom of speech.
Yeah, and the problem is like it's the freedom of speech you don't like. You have freedom of speech not for speech that you approve of. It's for the speech you don't approve of.
Right,
So
I understand that.
when you stop approving of it, when it's a situation you don't like, it's not exactly very free or like objective and what have you.
I feel like the guideline is basically if you're on X, you probably shouldn't piss off Elon Musk.
That's not good. It's not a good dynamic.
I was gonna call him "Dear Leader" as a joke when I was reading the article, and it's not totally a joke. All right, we got hold his feet to the fire, even if he takes your blue check mark away.
To be fair, even with all of this, I still like X, but like I like Twitter better now than it was when he didn't buy it.
Right.
Obviously.
Legacy?
I know,
Huh?
and we actually did have a pretty like free space during the election, and that's if he's secretly a bad guy, he's doing far too much good. He's screwing up as a plant.
That just because I think about Rome all the time. The way we just phrased that was like, but it was basically like, the batshit emperors that Rome would have. It was like, well, every Roman day life was pretty much fine as long as you weren't near the crazy person and affronted him. So it's like, yeah, we're fine on X as long as we don't piss off fucking Elon. He, runs through the street setting us on fire. I don't like that. He should be held to the same rules.
I know, free speech for me, but not for thee.
So happy you got those.
Yes, that's our next tab. Price, you got any more thoughts on Elon, number one gamer, being a fraud and not taking it well?
He shared videos later that he was saying that were refuting these arguments that he was playing or something like that. He had some random video that he shared from a year ago that he was playing with some people. I don't know. It looked like the video I was looking at looked like there was so many explosions and stuff that I couldn't evaluate how good he was playing or not. But that was something that he shared, I guess.
Well, that's the thing is, we're not arguing that he isn't playing. We're arguing that he has a boosted account. He either bought it or is account sharing. And that's the thing. He probably didn't buy it. Like when you're as him, people are probably practically trying to give him away to you. So it
maybe
isn't even the most.
Listen,
I
wouldn't
think it's
put it beside him.
Diablo. Are people just giving him stuff? Is he boosted in one way or another in Diablo too? And it's
I mean, if it was your game, you'd probably set up a special account for him and tell him, do whatever you want, just play this game. You know what I mean? So I don't really know the details. I'm guess
just talking about like the player, because he plays with like big streamers and stuff too. Like one of the big Diablo streamers.
Being the richest man in the world has its privileges, I suppose.
Yeah, and when you lose a game in like a team-based, online multiplayer game, and then someone calls you some couple of gamer slurs, and then they say you're boosted, bro. I hate to say it, but Elon.
Is there a way to buy? Is there a way to buy these boosts? Just out of curiosity, could you pay money legitimately and say, "I want all these additions. I'll pay for them"?
I know the microtransactions are ridiculous in Path to Exiles too, or at least they were last time I heard. So it is possible.
Tomby, hi.
All right, Badger, are you proud of me, Dad?
Very.
Cade
Have
Skywalker.
I turned you wrong? Have I set you on any wrong path? Come on.
No, you gave me the holocron and it hasn't steered me wrong. So would you like to tell those in chat who might not know about Cade Skywalker what Disney Star Wars has taken from us while I pull up cool pictures of him?
So would it shock you to know that even in like 2010 and 11, they were like, we need to get the fuck away from the main OT prequel trilogy. And so we jumped 120 years plus into the future with the like great grandson of Luke Skywalker, Cade Skywalker. He's a badass. There's a second little Jedi purge possibly when it's revealed that an entire group of Sith that have been ignoring the rule of two against the wishes of the Sith lords. Yeah, have been hiding on Korriban, and they emerge. And it's also fun. Cade goes on the run, and a very important thing is that Cade has a power that Anakin wanted. Cade has the ability to heal people, to bring them back. He can literally, much like Mace Windu can see shatter points and can use that to hurt people, Cade can use the Force to infuse it and with life and save people. The very thing Anakin wanted, but it is good.
And that is what Darth Krayt wants him to do, because Darth Krayt has the weird Yuuzhan Vong virus.
So Krayt
thing.
has the Orbalisk armor that is slowly consuming him.
Doomsday.
So he's chasing Cade to try to get his powers to heal him. Cade doesn't want to. It's so fucking layered. God.
He goes over to the dark side and whatnot, like pretends to, like Luke does in Dark Empire. Oh my God. And then he's like, nah, I won't heal you. And he brings a couple more people back to life. His dad
Close
shows
enough.
up. Oh,
If Cade had been there when Padme was on that table, he could have saved her 100%.
Yeah, 1000%. I will say I was a little sad when Darth Krayt takes his helmet off. I wanted him to be spikier under there.
This is you may not know this, but this is a Jedi from the previous stories, Ashrad Het.
Yeah, and conveniently, he's on Tatooine as a sand person or whatever.
Yeah,
what
his father was a Jedi that went there and got lost. One of the first comics I ever read was Kiadi Mundi going to Tatooine to find a lost Jedi, Sharad Het. And it was his son that he ends up finding there. And so like they went deep cut with this and connected it. Yeah, it's a super hardcore nerd alert. I'm sorry, I should have hit it like 20 times already.
I know, but I'm loving the nerd. Like, this is so much better than anything Disney Star Wars has given us. This and Cleopatra 2525 are like currently my favorite things.
Nerd alert!
Yeah,
one more to look through.
They're great. And the best part is the empire is still around, but it's a benevolent empire now, led by a Force-wielding emperor who has a legion of Imperial knights who serve the Force, and they serve the emperor. The emperor, like, they serve the Force through the emperor, and in the mandate of the Imperial knights is if the emperor to ever fall to the dark side, is their duty to bring him to the light side and or fucking kill him. It's dope. All right.
So it has everyone. So you get the bounty hunters, but then you get, like the good Imperials, and the king gets usurped by the Sith. So you got like the emperor in exile, and then you got his knights, and then you got a bunch of other different like levels. You get all the different sides of it, and it's all so good, and it's incredibly fucking diverse, and all the women are hot, and all the dudes are scoundrels or based or evil, or it's good versus evil, and it's lovely. And all the Sith look badass AF.
Yeah.
And we got Smilo Ren.
It's so cathartic to watch you. It's like, take some of the trauma of what we've lost and what we could have had.
I mean, it's bad enough watching like the Acolyte, but going through this and realizing what was lost. God, Price, you got any thoughts on Star Wars universe that was actually good?
Well, the thing is that I actually hadn't read what you were just showing, but I have said on many occasions, just regardless, that if Lucasfilm, I think it's already too late, but if Lucasfilm or anybody ever wanted to revive Star Wars, the only solution would be to do something that happens way in the future and try to just...
How about 125 years in the future?
Yeah, something like that. 125 years in the future. Try to somehow pretend that the events of the sequel trilogy never even happened. Refer to only like the Return of the Jedi as any kind of reference, and then just move on and tell this story. And maybe some people will still be interested in watching it. It'll never be what it could have been, and Lucasfilm messed up.
Yeah. I'm firmly believe that if they adapted the right things, you can fucking just get it all back just like that. Yeah. But
after adapting them correctly, 3 or 4
times. Yeah, sure.
The thing is that I don't think that without Kathleen Kennedy and all of her minions leaving, I don't think that there's a possibility to do anything there. I think that sometimes you have to just face the facts. She has been the leader. She's the main reason this thing has been a piece of shit, and she has to go.
Yeah, it's also the only thing. Drinker sort of said the same thing in his video, but the only real thing, even if when you say stick it in the thing for 10 years, well, that's how long it'll take for her to fucking leave. So the only thing that will make people want to watch Star Wars again is her being gone and them going, oh, it's under new management. Let's see what they've done. I have those toys right fucking now.
Right, exactly.
You have them?
It's because they're 3.75. They're this, but yeah, I have them in right there in a container.
I don't care. Do you think they'd be like $100, or do you think they'd be affordable? Because
No, you could find them. You could probably get one for like 30, 40 bucks on.
But the thing is that if you would have fired her maybe 5 years ago, I think that there would have been a real fan celebration. You know, like after the Emperor, is killed, and people would be celebrating. But what happened is that it never happened, and I think that it's taken so long that at this point the brand has eroded. I don't think it's as easy to just snap your fingers and bring everybody back like
Skeleton
nothing ever
Crew.
happened.
Yeah, next tab we'll be talking about the finale for Skeleton Crew, and I quite enjoyed the show. No one watched it. No one gave a crap.
I watched it.
I know all of us here watched it, but no one actually it didn't even show up in the top 10. And it's like, oh, but it's made for kids. I don't know a single kid that watched it. So
see, look, you see all these little bastards in there. Imperial Knights. There's Cade in there somewhere. Yeah, because they don't really fit anywhere else. Here, Cade came with the gun on his hip. He's wearing like Vader's pants, the rib pants for the throwback. Comes with the gun on his hip. His lightsaber, he's got a duster, he's a badass, and he's got a crippling addiction to dead sticks. It's so edgy.
Yeah, I meant to grab it. I will do that. While you read Rossi's super chat, I will look up the dead sticks.
Did you guys see Kathleen Kennedy is getting an achievement award?
Sure.
She gets them all the time. They just keep giving them to her, regardless of her achievements, they just keep giving them to her.
She's literally like just her patting herself on the back.
Your gun is sticking into my hip.
You know what? The worst thing for me when I think of the time they gave her an award, they gave a joint award to her and to George Lucas for Star Wars. That was to me the biggest insult, that they would invite them together and give them a joint award for what? He created it, she ruined it. Why are they getting both an award? And then he gets up. Do you know what happened? Because there isn't video for some reason. I couldn't ever find video from the event. But do you know what the speeches were based on the transcript?
What? Force is female?
So George Lucas gets up and he's like, I created Star Wars because I wanted to make the impossible possible. Everybody claps. Kathleen Kennedy goes up to the mic, and this is just based on transcript. She says it's so important, to promote social justice and really like all the usual nonsense of like all the diversity and inclusion, all that, just spewing a bunch of nonsense. It's like, lady, you're in charge of the biggest IP in entertainment where it used to be. And that's all you're talking about. You're a dumb. I don't want to say a bad word. I'm gonna be quiet now.
I'm the first woman to something.
I don't care what she is. She could have been a woman, or she could have been a man, or she could have been whatever, as long as she did a good job. But she didn't.
Housekeeping.
Who has home phone?
That would be me. That would be me. One second.
All right. So for those that don't know, these panels right
toys,
here.
Thomas.
So he's all hopped up on the death sticks, and then Force Ghost Luke shows up, and he's like, bro, stop doing it. And he's like, I do them so I'm not connected to the Force, so I don't have to see your ass, so I can keep on going and being sad and depressed and self-destructive. This is what we want from an R-rated Star Wars. Please, God, give it to us. Like Lethal Weapon. One of the reasons I say that I think Lethal Weapon is better than Die Hard is in the beginning, he sticks the thing in his mouth, and just immediately is like,
the Beretta that Red will not come rob me for. By the way,
I love it.
These two, Ganner Krieg and I forgot this dude, but he's in love with the princess, the Imperial princess. So he's torn by honor and duty. It's very classical school tales, but like in the best way.
It's space opera, exactly how I want my space opera.
Tari's something like that. He's badass though, dude. Yeah.
He's the one on the back. That's it. Well,
yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is you get all the different sides, and all of them are you like all of them.
Do you see why I thought they would just badly steal this shit? I thought it's so good. They'll rip it off. They won't do a good job, but we'll at least get some of the basics. They didn't even do that. By the way, look at the fucking hand cannon that Cade has. This is like a double barrel, like, bro.
Nerdwars LLC would like to officially apologize to Lord Botha for somehow missing his $5. Right? We missed this. I apologize profusely for my producer,
God, I'm
Angry
so
Badger.
sorry.
Had my first gaming stream yesterday. Let's fucking go. It was a complete disaster. Let's fucking go. But it ended up being a decent Mannerlord stream.
They get better as they go on.
Can't
They get
wait
better
to
as
do
they
more.
go on.
There's a reason YouTubers generally delete their first videos.
Yeah.
Hold on. Ulic Quadroma.
Yeah,
Did I say
that's
it
how
right?
they should start. Yeah, that's yeah.
My first video is probably my best
Bobby.
video. It's just
Oh,
been
really?
like diminishing returns since then. Yeah,
Bo Furry?
I'll tell
Is
you
Bob-
why.
is
I'll tell
Bobby
you why
trolling
because
you?
I actually went to Comic-Con and I was talking to creators and I did a whole video about me in Comic-Con, and trust me, that is probably better than all of my videos.
Yeah, I think we watched some of it on my channel at one point. Bobby, what are you on? Bo Furry? I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense. Is this what we're talking about, Bo Furry, Bobby? Nick Cage. Okay, yes, thank you, Bobby. I really appreciate you.
Erwin, did you delete your first video?
Oh, yes. Thank you for asking. Yes.
Mine's still up.
What was
We
it?
have
What was
different
it that you
channels.
deleted? I'm so curious.
Well, I switched formats, and I did some fancier, more highly edited ones. So I just got rid of the lazy, crappy ones.
That's fair.
I still do the lazy, crappy ones.
Badger, we're about to move on. Any thoughts on Mara Jade and how
Make
he
Luke
rocked?
Skywalker heteronormative again. Give him Mara Jade and Ben Skywalker his son. Thank you.
Problem solved. Star Wars Skeleton Crew Episode 8 review from IGN. Nothing special in my opinion. It wasn't crazy. Actually, what happened is what I thought was going to happen. Is pretty obviously going to happen.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it enough. Jod was great. I love his just full blown being the bad guy. The parents, I like them and the character stuff. Yeah, well, full blown bad guy, but then he just kind of doesn't kill the kids.
Not really the
'cause
bad
he's
guy.
nice.
That's the whole point. Is they called his bluff. He wasn't actually a bad guy, or he would have
kinda
killed
just
someone.
Gives up. Yeah. But you get the whole pirate invasion of the whole suburbs, and at first we didn't like the suburbs, but seeing Neil's like brothers and sisters all like in the grass looking up, all freaked out at the giant space pirate ship flying over them, I enjoyed that. So I ended up liking all the suburbia stuff, especially as they start going into houses and like kidnapping everyone. I was happy with all that, but we didn't get a lot of character stuff with the kids, mostly just like with our parents, which paid off well enough. I liked it. Nothing super duper special though. Badger, did you like it?
Nothing like a good home cooked meal, huh, son?
That's the dad. What the fuck? Did they tell him to act whiter than white and then act a little more white on top of that? Like act
Oh
as
my
nerdy as
God.
fuck and then
Yeah.
act nerdier.
Like Dave Chappelle doing his
You're-
like white
You're
person
talking to a
impression.
level 7 combat engineer, son, or whatever.
He wasn't a combat engineer. Sorry. That would have been fun. Oh, sorry. I'm taking Price is the one supposed to be shitting on it. Sorry. Go ahead, Price.
Oh, wait, okay, yes, Bryce, go ahead. Tell us how much you loved it.
I mean, the thing is that I think that the final episode, maybe even the final two episodes, if polished a bit, could have been a pretty decent third act of a
It should
movie.
have been a fucking movie. It should have
Right.
been a fucking movie.
It could have been a decent third act of a movie. However, the first two acts that led into this third act, I think that they were too long, had a lot of issues in them, and that's where the real missed opportunity is. Still, it's not like I dreamed of having a Goonies in space thing. If you had a great sequel trilogy and you did sort of kind of something offbeat like this, you made it a movie with these two episodes. The last one is sort of a foundation for a third act, and then a much better story leading into it. It could have been at least pretty decent.
Yeah. Fuck. They gave it a higher rating than me. For the whole series, it's like I'm at a 6 out of 10, I think.
I'd go 7.
Really?
6.5, 7.
Really?
I enjoyed it. Oh, it's like, well, see, this is how I do it. So, what are my 6s? We got 13th Warrior and Count of Monte Cristo that were so boring and I could not stand.
Oh, well, see, those are not my
And I
6s.
still gave them those scores.
Oh, no.
This I thoroughly enjoyed and look forward to every week.
13th Warrior is hardly a 6, sir. I still love you, but that was a ding.
Oh, well, my
Monica, so I
7
won't fight you on.
Alien is my 7. And
I
I
mean,
enjoyed this more than I enjoyed seeing Alien for the first time in theater. Price, what are you saying?
I was saying that the last 2 episodes, I would give maybe even above a 6. Maybe I would give them like a 65 or something. The problem is that the first 6 episodes, I would probably give like a 3.5 or something. And that's really the issue I have with the show. But it's still better than a lot of the other crap that Disney put out there. But it's not like some kind of revelation either.
No, the revelation is that they can actually do it if they fucking stay the way from the showrunner. That if you actually let someone who seemingly does enjoy Star Wars and doesn't hate the audience, they can make something that's not offensive and enjoyable on some level.
It's not offensively bad. It's dumb in parts, but it's not offensively bad.
I'll take it.
Okay, so
Put it on the poster.
Here's how I came around to the Star Wars IP finally. So I watched him when I was younger, and I was like, but I had read a bunch of really good, like, classic sci-fi books, and I'd had a lot of really good sci-fi under my belt by the time I watched it. So I was like, I was a little disappointed with the story. I expected more, but I still enjoyed it enough. Then eventually, years later, I was like, I gotta watch him again. I'm like, maybe Star Wars isn't my thing. And then, of course, when I was a kid, it was the prequels, which I believe I watched all of in the theater. And the prequels for kids, not really the best movies. A lot of really dry in some of the middle parts with all the space opera stuff. And so I was fine with Star Wars. Certainly didn't hate it. And then this guy convinced me I needed to get some comics. Where are they at? Get over here. Get out of my way, Spock. All right.
Bad habit of doing that.
So I got these Dark Empire and Dark Empire 2. Actually, no, I think the thing was Dark Empire 2. They had this used at my local comic book shop. I'm like, oh, hey, this will make Badger happy. But then I was like, well, I need Dark Empire 1. And I had to go on eBay for, I think, the first time to get this. And then I loved them. And I'm like, I love Star Wars. And then I watched The Acolyte.
Yeah. See, you're noticing a pattern of you liking it based on something I recommend, and then we watch something that Disney and you fucking hate it, and then you do something that I recommend, and then you watch something Disney and you, well, at least they didn't ruin it on that last one.
It whiplashed me so hard that then I watched Kenobi. I still hated that, but I thought it was a bit better than Acolyte, slightly less infuriating. And I got to the point where then I saw Ahsoka, where I'm like, I actually didn't mind Ahsoka. Like, but you got to understand my trauma, like that I went through. Also, I will say I did watch Mandalorian season 1. I got Disney Plus for the first time to watch it back in the day, and I did enjoy season 1. Thank you, Mog. Couldn't do this without your support. And then I actually enjoyed season 2 as Mandalorian as well. So I was like as normie a Star Wars fan as you can get. And then expanded universe. And then now we finally, so instead of me doing this into Acolyte, we're watching Skeleton Crew and I'm actually enjoying it. And then they have these at my used bookstore, so I had to get them to make Badger happy. And then I got to do these and Skeleton Crew. So I finally have things that make me happy on the inside. Because Star Wars. So things are going good. And then next we have Ahsoka season 2 and Andor season 2 and Mandalorian and Grogu. Goodbye, Goodwill. See ya.
That's the most I've seen you evangelize something, by the way, and be happy that's not anime. Was just now talking about legacy and fucking all the characters and shit.
Yeah. Oh. It's similar to how we got Deadpool and Wolverine's got all that goodwill, and then Cat 4 is going to destroy it. But then now, this is a shock. We have Born Again that everyone's actually hyped about. I'm probably going to have to watch season 1 of the original Netflix series. So I know what the hell's going on.
That's
I know,
a major
Bryce.
issue.
Got a
Major
issue.
issue.
Got a lot to catch up on.
I canceled my Disney Plus, Graph. I hope you're happy. And I still got like 25 days on it. So I'm probably going to watch that first season. So I at least know somewhat what I'm doing. All right, well then, Bryce, are you excited for Born Again? That trailer was pretty well put together.
Because it's Disney releasing it, I'm going to be cautiously optimistic. It certainly looks better than I thought it would look, but at the same time, that's a trailer. Disney have been known to make trailers that look pretty nice, and then you watch the show, and then from 70 different directions, some weird propaganda is shoved in. So until I see that, I don't want to. I don't want to say too much. I just want to say the trailer doesn't look bad, but I need more in order to confirm that it's not crappy.
Hey, Silver Lining, there's a show that you're going to watch and you're not dreading watching it. Like that's a 7 out of 10 these days.
Matthian, I don't know why you put a 1 there. There's only 1 season of Jessica Jones. Don't even try. The other two.
There's
All right.
three seasons of Daredevil, and you have to watch them all, Erwin.
Yeah,
Yes.
the third one might have a drop off with some, but I enjoy all of them for different
I
reasons.
like the third one too. I liked all of them.
I'll probably do one, and to get me hyped and I somewhat know what's going on. And then when I'm waiting every week for an episode, I'll probably knock out the other ones or something. I had to cancel Disney Plus. It hurts my soul. GraphWeb makes me feel bad.
Yo, ho, yo,
All right.
ho,
One of my favorites of 2024, The Fall Guy, currently on Amazon Prime. Watched again to see if it held up. Turns out it does still hold up. And if you are one of our lovely females in chat, definitely recommend this to you because it manages to be an action comedy romance. And I actually really enjoy like all the romance character stuff. It surprisingly works. Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt, like they make it work. And I enjoyed it. Every aspect of it. Rewatching it, some of the beginning stuff felt a little slow just because I already knew everything that was going to happen. But when first watching it, I really enjoyed all the character stuff at first. And then about second half of the movie, then it goes like full action movie. A lot of comedy worked. Yeah, Ryan Gosling.
I actually saw it in the theater. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I was evangelizing it. I wanted everyone to see it, and I thought everyone would hate it too. No, everyone also was like, hey,
but it's kind of a skeleton crew. People that watched it found it enjoyable. It did its job, but then no one watched it.
Bombed at the box office. Price, you ever see Fall Guy?
I did see Fall Guy. I thought that it was dumb fun. Meaning, okay. I didn't suffer watching it. I could tell there were things about it that I could clearly point out that were silly, but something about it didn't offend me, and I thought that it was lighthearted, stupid fun, and it probably should have done a bit better than it did.
There you go. Oh, it should have. That's why I tried evangelizing for it. It didn't work, but it definitely made more money than Den of Thieves 2, Pantera. There's nothing in January. I have to see at least one movie to pay for my unlimited pass, and there's nothing. I thought about seeing this nonsense, Den of Thieves 2, when I'd never even remember there was a Den of Thieves 1. Price, you saw this, so we didn't have to. Give us some thoughts on Den of Thieves 2, Pantera.
I'll tell you what I think. I think that Den of Thieves 1 was serviceable enough. It's not a fantastic movie. It looks like somebody watched the movie Heat and wanted to make kind of a similar movie in Los Angeles. A little different, but something along those lines. The movie is fine. You can watch it. You could put it on Den of Thieves 1. It's serviceable enough. It does whatever it's supposed to do. It's probably like a 7 out of 10 for its genre. The thing is that the second movie, I don't think that they initially planned on making a sequel, and I feel like the second movie really forced the way they get this whole thing going, and the plot feels forced, and the writing is poor. And the
movie, if these two had a contrived plot, Price?
It's super long. Also, I think the movie is like 2 hours and 24 minutes. If you don't have the Godfather, you better keep your movie down to like an hour and 40 minutes.
How long was it?
I think it was like 2 hours and 24 minutes. I felt like I was sitting in the theater forever.
For an action movie?
And it was so
you think you're
slow.
John Wick 4?
It didn't even have that much action to justify it. So many mistakes, in my opinion. I know some people went to see it and maybe some people like it, but there can't be a lot of interest in it because I posted a video and nobody's watching it. So I think this isn't exactly a movie that anybody's taking seriously.
Yeah,
I would give this. Sorry.
Some of us have unlimited passes and need to find one we can stomach. Badger, did you have thoughts?
I was going to say, Price, if no one's watching your video, it just means that people over the age of 60 are not interested in this movie. But the youth, Price, might be interested. No, I'm sorry. The trailer made it look good to me. Now. I liked the first Den of Thieves and the whole spin of like that motherfucker was basically a criminal in the first one. Him and his little group doing drugs and shit with that they were going after. So I sort of bought the whole. He lost his job, and so now he's going to get his. But it probably doesn't need to be 2 hours and 20 minutes. And yeah, O'Shea Jackson, Cube's son, is like, this motherfucker went off to be a heist planner? Okay.
For those that don't know, if you watched any of these two and felt racist because you kept thinking it was Ice Cube and then realizing, oh, that's not. It's Ice Cube's son, so we're allowed to do the racism.
It sounds like it might be a streaming thing that I'll enjoy, but not as much as the first one.
I'm looking on my app, and there's literally nothing. Dogman for the children. Flight Risk with Mark Wahlberg.
I like Butler. That's the
never heard of. A horror movie I've never heard of. Anime. B movie about female soldiers. Something else I haven't heard of. Indian movie. Wild Robots coming back to theaters. UFC. Goonies 40th anniversary. There's literally nothing in January. What the hell? I don't have anything to see. But I am very excited to see that now Captain America 4. I can finally get my tickets. Please tell me I can get my tickets. Yes, I can get my tickets. And it's in the premium theaters. I can't wait, man. I'm literally going to get my ticket right after this. All right. Badger, if you have any more thumbnails you need to make, this is a good time to do it. Manga. All right, real quick. I'll make it quick. Not only I've been reading some good stuff, watching some amazing stuff. I'm been living the dream. Thanks to you, chat. Love you guys. And Berserk Volume 4 and 5. So I was on my Berserk journey, and at first I didn't love it completely, but I was really enjoying it and wanted to keep on going. And I understood why some people thought it was a masterpiece. But now that I've gotten through the first whole main arc, the Band of the Hawk, and now I've done the Eclipse, people had warned me that it was a little dark and a little brutal and a little non-consensually at times, and that dark fantasy is not always my thing. Game of Thrones, all that stuff, I'm like whatever, I need to get cultured. And I was like, I think these guys overblew it a little bit, because I really wasn't seeing much. And then I got to the Eclipse, and I realized why everyone was warning me, because they basically get into like Hell Realm, and it's so cool. And this dude's art, when you do really detailed stuff, his castles are amazing, because like his brickwork and like shingles always look so good. But instead of shingles, you have crazy scary faces and giant monstrous demons coming after you, and a huge hand rising up with a bunch of demon lords on it, and a new demon lord being born. And it's so good. What the? All right, fine. It's a masterpiece. All right, all you weebs in chat, you win. It's a masterpiece. I said it. It's so good. You guys finally got me. Glad I read it. I'm gonna take a long break before I read the next 9, because MSRP to buy those would be $450. Oh my god. Lords of the Fallen dev vows. Badger, when you first saw this, were you kind of confused?
You were going to ask me what I thought of Berserk and what you just said about hell?
Anime has a satanic vibe.
I know it's adjacent. It's adjacent, but
turns out hell is very rapey, and I understand why Badger stays away from anime and manga.
You Jesus.
So when I saw this, I was confused, because I'm like, is this old news just being recycled? No, it's not. So this is the guy, the Lords of the Fallen dude. In a medieval fantasy action RPG experience, what do you prefer to choose between? We will follow the result, and it is overwhelmingly male and female. Well, the new thing is, so that was for future titles, obviously. I didn't realize, though, they're actually going to put an update for their game that released in 2023. Oh, of course, I clicked on it. So they aren't just going to prevent it from being in the future game. They're doing an update to change it back to male, female, or just change it to male, female in their game that's already been released.
And yes, they did need a fucking poll, because they listened to all of the DEI consultancy groups, and like I'm going to use CD Projekt Red as the best example, because they're such sweet summer children that they did their hour-long explanations. Like, oh yes, we just listen to them and we do the thing. Fine. So now, don't listen to them. Listen to us and do male and female.
Oh, they've been listening to me. Not only dragon, actually it's a wyvern, 3-headed dragon. Well, actually 3-headed wyvern. All right, you love to see it. And also, I don't know how it did for like PlayStation, but on Steam it has mixed reviews. So if I were them, I would try to get more player focused. I've seen, I don't know if it was in Park Place or whatever, but now I'm seeing player -first. Yes. Let's, instead of doing all the corpo woke speak, let's them talking about player first and customer first. All right, Price, I'm so sorry, man, but you can't watch TikTok videos while you're pooping anymore.
Bruh.
It's okay. I'll be okay.
Okay, good. All right. We can get you help if you need it. As TikTok
is it officially banned, or is it?
I'm fairly certain it is now currently banned. Yes.
Everyone knows Price pays video poker when he's on the toilet. All right, that is the official toilet game.
You should You should play Balatro on the toilet. Go ahead.
I've never really liked TikTok personally. I opened an account and I maybe posted one thing there, and that was probably a few years ago. It's just an app that I don't know what the point of the app is.
Originally,
retarded.
They used underage girls dancing sexually to get everyone in, along with a gigantic ad buy.
Well, I don't.
Was disturbing.
The thing is, I think what you're referring to is just like nothing personal. I don't know how to word this nicely. Like dumb girls dancing. That's probably what it used to be. But I don't even know if it was sexual. Like usually you put it on and you just I see like I don't want to be mean because people that like to dance, it's fine.
Be mean.
But sometimes I see these annoying girls dancing, and I think to myself, this is so fucking annoying. You know what I mean? So that's what I thought when I saw the TikTok. Also in TikTok, you had a lot of situations where people were sort of creating as if like 1 minute skits, like a husband and wife are saying funny things to each other, and it was complete cringe. That's what I remember looking at it. Between these kind of homemade skits and little girls dancing really quickly. Like I'm telling you, like maybe an hour of me flipping through this and trying to find out what this app is. I'm like, okay, I'm done with this.
So I get the freedom of speech angle here, but man, is it not freedom of speech app? That is for sure. And here's the problem. So they're leaving that one, which has its problem, but at least like, you know, the data they're storing in America and stuff at least. And hey, if they sold TikTok to Twitter, all right, then we could be talking. But it's a hostile foreign nation trying to social engineer our kids into destroying the West.
Doing a real good job too.
Freedom is good things, but yeah, full free. Like we should not legalize heroin and such. You know, there are things that for our own good. As TikTok
it's not even the app. It's not even the app that they used in China. In China, it has to be like monitored and approved, so they don't see stupid things like the ones that they showed here. Here, they were more than happy to show the dumbest things.
Yes, they talk about they want to ban like Twitter because the algorithm is affecting all the children's minds. You know, well, China is the algorithm when it comes to TikTok. So I just looked it up. It looks like it's here in like 3 days is when it's going to be banned. So TikTok refugees are now flocking to Red Note. A U.S. official says the Chinese app could be banned too. Red Note. That's weird. All right, so it's even worse. It's even worse than TikTok. It's 100% the Chi-Coms. And people are learning fucking Mandarin. Let's see, I believe it's this one, to use it. People would rather learn Mandarin because like it's not really made for English users. And they're kind of doing this to like protest to say, we're going to use an even more of a Chinese communist app. So it's partly that, but then also now they're actually trying to use it. So this is now the blue sky. You thought TikTok was the blue sky of like short media. This is going to be the actual blue sky. And so it's called Red Note. Well, when you actually translate the Chinese name, it actually translates to Little Red Book. Badger, Price, you know anything about the Little Red Book in China?
Is this what you write people's names who are...
Commie, traitor to our country!
No, it's essentially the Chinese Bible, a book full of Mao Zedong quotes. Yeah!
Just had some moggetry happen in the chat.
I know!
What is this?
And they're hitting, for now at least. We got 5 of them out, I think. And then I think they stopped. I think they might already be dead. They already dead.
We got 5 of you.
No, there's another one dropped. All right.
Hey, all right.
Another one. All right. So, yes, they are going to...
I almost used the F word.
They're going to it. Instead of having free speech on Twitter, they would rather go to the Little Red Book, literal like Chinese propaganda site where they have to actually literally learn Mandarin to be able to use it. That's their preference over free speech and community notes. Guys, it's not a good look. All right, I'm gonna make everyone wait. Do I hate Boosh? Yeah. Did I say it on air? I thought that was we were backstage when I said all those things about.
Sorry,
Boosh.
Fat Riker. He just doesn't like you. I'm sorry. What are you gonna do?
All right, let's see.
Thin Riker right now. That's fine.
5, 6. All right, we got 6 out. I think it may be. I think memberships might be broken at this point. Heads up for anyone who would like to generously support. You might not be able to at the moment. We might have broken them on our Tuesday stream. All right, here's why I make everyone mad at me.
Oh no.
Nosferatu 1922. This is one of the ones I had to watch for the Christmas stream. Guys, I was hearing people like say this is like better in ways than the new Nosferatu. It's possibly the worst thing you guys have had me watch yet.
What, the 1922 one?
Is so incredibly bad. Price, do you like it? Please tell us why you like it.
I'll tell you what. I think that when you look at a movie from 1922, especially I say this as somebody that's, studied film in the past, it's the kind of thing where a teacher, like a professor, comes and explains to you why the movie was important during the time of its release, what it did that was revolutionary. And then when you all those pieces of the puzzle and you watch it, you can really appreciate what they did there. As a 2025 viewer, you're not going to look at that thinking that can necessarily compete with a modern day movie. But if you appreciate it for what it was at the time of its release, probably all the horror movies that we see today, I'm not saying they wouldn't exist without that movie, but that is probably what launched the entire horror genre. So a lot of respect goes to that movie, even though you
blame
watched
him for terrible horror movies is what I'm hearing.
It's not a matter of terrible horror. At the time of its release, it was the best thing and most amazing thing that anybody had ever seen in terms of horror. It's just that when you look at it after 100 years, obviously a lot's changed in that industry and medium since then.
Really?
So you're looking at it and it looks kind of old and dated to you.
So this trailer, they added like extra color to it. The one I watched was just like full blown black and white. It doesn't want to play, thank God. All right. So I sat with this wonderful thing, which life hack. These are amazing if you've never owned one of these. So this little right arrow right here, I kept it right next to me and I pressed it at least 200 times. And still the pacing was slow, with me skipping 5 seconds constantly, and the acting was terrible, and there's no actual dialogue, you have to read it, so all the acting is super cringe and long, and the girl's ugly, and it's just every aspect of how I judge a movie. Because some people, it's like, oh, I didn't like the story. It's a 2 out of 10. But I'm like, but the production values were really good. 2 out of 10. Worst thing I've ever seen. Like, we got to judge it on all the different parts of what makes a movie. And when I judge it on every parts of a movie, it's the worst thing you guys have had me watch. And people were saying they liked it more than the new Nosferatu, which, holy hell, I would have liked it even less if I hadn't seen the new Nosferatu. But there were also some things that I didn't like in the new Nosferatu, which I assumed was the original movie. No, it's no. So Robert Eggers did make some poor choices on his own as well. Badger, you have any thoughts? Because I heard you're a fake fan and you're a fake movie film critic.
I need to clock out. I'm being called to greater things.
Yes! Ride him up, demotion. Where will you be, Badger?
Woo! You can see me in like 8 minutes or 15, depending on how late and gay we are, on Open Bar. We'll talk about Skeleton Crew, everyone's favorite show, and the Daredevil. We'll see why they're so excited about something that's probably not going to be great. We'll see. You guys are the best. See you
Just
tomorrow
know, you're not alone. You're not alone. You have Mog watching over your shoulder at all times.
Just don't let him stand behind me.
Is that your lightsaber? That better be your lightsaber. Go get him, Tiger. All right. Price, I'm so sorry for not liking it, but it's the worst thing I've ever seen ever. I'm sorry.
I mean, again, it's sort of it's kind of unfair. It's as if you wanted to. I'm trying to think of something to compare it to, but it's like if I gave you a radio now from 1922 and you compared it to your gaming computer as to what each of them can do. Obviously, your computer can do a lot of things that the radio from 1922 can't do, but still inventing that radio and having an old radio, it was important. Everything is important. It's important that somebody invented the light bulb. Think 1922. They didn't even...
So I've got my universal scale. Now, if you want me to give my for its time, I will give it a better score, for sure. But my universal score, it does not hold up in the slightest bit.
It's
not humble
rare that
opinion.
you're going to find a movie from that era, from those years, looking at it through a viewer's lens of a modern day viewer. You're not going to be able to look at that and say, okay, this completely holds up. It's more if you really like cinema and how it was created, there's something to appreciate. But I want to give you an example because I know you're an editor. I want to give you an example. There is a silent movie that's probably like 2 minutes long or something like that, and it has a fireman that goes to save a baby. When it came out, it was considered the most revolutionary thing ever. You know why? Because he climbs up the ladder, and then they did a splice. Like you edit, they cut from him climbing in to like you watch the angle from indoors of him climbing into the apartment, and that was the first time anybody thought of doing like an edit where he's like on the outside going on the inside. And at the time, people were sitting around and saying, we can't believe it. He was outside and now he's on the inside. And if I showed you that today on your laptop, you do 70 edits like a minute. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean anything to you. But at the time that it came out, it meant everything to them. Same with that one that they go to the moon. What's it called? A trip to the moon? There's something where they're all flying to the moon.
Yeah, that's great and all, but here's the thing. When I was a teenager, I saw Casablanca in the theater, and it's so good. Even as a teenager, I really enjoyed it. So I can watch old stuff and still enjoy it when it's good. This was just not particularly good.
Once they're not talking, it's a whole different ball game. They used to look for actors that were more kind of like pantomimes, more like
Well, it gets into like theater acting. Or
yes, it's like local theater. It's like local theater,
crazy.
improv, pantomime. That's what silent movies are. You can't watch a silent movie and expect that it's gonna hold up in the way you enjoy watching movies. Although I personally am able to appreciate, I like the 1922 one a lot, and I like what Roger Eggers did. I also understood that a lot of people that are looking for a straight up horror movie may not enjoy it. But I think that what he did was really honoring what the original was and making it more modern and kind of, I liked it.
I gave an extra half a point to the new one after watching this one, because managing to take that story, with no other adjectives, I'm going to use that story, and turn it into what he did is very impressive. And yes, that's what I'm saying is, for its time, I'm happy to give it a higher score. My universal scoring, TM, worse than Rocky, I said it. All right. Hey.
Rocky was great, though. You didn't like Rocky? Man. I don't know, man. These are classics. You have to sort of understand what they are, where they came from. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Don't worry.
I've never met anybody that doesn't like Rocky.
I'll watch. Yeah, me neither. I was looking forward to seeing it. I did not realize it was a love story between two retarded people, though. The cringiest love story, and the somewhat non-consensual cringiest love story I've ever seen. But more on that later.
She was just very shy. I think that's what they were going with.
And Rocky being so popular is why everyone thought Rambo was the good guy in First Blood. I'm
Rambo is the good guy in the First Blood movie.
Currently in the process of filming something that definitively proves otherwise.
Somebody in the chat wrote Un chien andalou. Yeah, that's Louis Buñuel or something like that. I actually. Oh,
look! I got an eyeball, and look, it's got replaced with a de-skinned grape, and now I'm cutting it with a straight razor.
I mean, every time somebody created something, it did something at the time of its creation. Like I said, I could go and show you a lot of these old movies and show you each one where they kind of revolutionized something. I personally like that stuff. It gives me joy to see how a whole medium was built. But I understand that if you're
that's awesome. And for its time and what it did for cinema score, I'm happy to give it a higher score. But for it compared to everything, every piece of entertainment ever created, it's the worst thing you guys have had me watch. I blame Sons and Shadows as the one who put it on the list. I will never forgive him.
Sometimes it's kind of trippy to see what people were like 100 years ago and what interested them. You're sort of putting yourself in their shoes of watching their top of the line entertainment. There's something kind of magical and interesting about it, but I can see how maybe not everybody would be passionate about it.
I was looking forward to it. Worst thing you guys have. All right, but hey, I will say it made me appreciate Tartakovsky's Clone Wars a little bit more. I said, all right, this one's wait. Dang it, I haven't seen Tomahawk yet. I got to talk about his Betterman. Let's see. All right, let's get to some quick. And Chad, if you could keep an eye on when open bar starts and let me know like 50 times, I would love you forever. All right, we got a new Superman coming out because we got the DC All-In Superman Unlimited with Dan Slott. He gave us like Spider-Verse crap. Who cares? All right, I just want to get to for Amazing Powers. Where's all the gay stuff? Gay stuff? Where are you at? Gay stuff. All right, here we go. Superman Hollywood Reporter. Sorry, I can't have anything nice. Hollywood Reporter won't let me highlight anything. All right, so they like to switch things up in the All-In story. So this one, you got the big, fun, high-flying adventures that Superman is known for, while also providing big moments for, I don't care, massive new kryptonite deposits. So basically, now there's lots of kryptonite, and now all of the criminals have kryptonite ammo and kryptonite shivs. This is a world of unlimited danger on a level that DC's Superman family of characters has never faced before, and no one's gonna care other than the first issue. All right, let's see, blah, blah, blah. Where was it? They say truth and justice. There we go, finally. To survive, Superman will need to forge new alliances, new tech, and new tactics if he hopes to carry on his quest for truth, justice, and a better tomorrow.
What about the American way?
We don't have that anymore. I'm sorry, Price. We have a better tomorrow.
That really annoys me. Why did they remove that? That just is I'm sorry, it's fucking annoying.
Yeah, Gabe El-Taib, the guy who did the colors for the first Isom book. Holy ABF. He actually left DC because they got rid of True Justice and the American Way. So he literally quit his job because the graph reps give to shield this guy. No, right? Oh, for God, oh, Lord. All right, sorry, that's all of them. Maybe we got some clips for you though. Thank you so much. And
what's wrong with the American way? Like the American way is good. It's so annoying that there's people that don't understand that they have to. It doesn't help anybody.
They're trying to destroy the West so we can have a Chinese century. That's why they're trying to destroy us, and having any sort of nationalism that provides unity, provides like a group where we can't have that. We have to be global citizens and global stakeholders. That way they can put us in a sci-fi dystopia.
You have to, for good and for bad, you have to sort of appreciate the place that's yours, because that's your place. And so many people here, they don't understand what it's like in other places, and they really take for granted what this place is. And that's really the saddest thing.
Yes, we all hate white women. ABF, you're the best.
Memo. 4 pounds of C4 may be a little excessive.
When I made that was before they started breaking the gifties. So literally another meme that came true, and the chat is so generous and too excessive. They break it every single time.
Anyway, I started blasting. Bang!
Wow.
Appreciate you so much, ABF. And our Tuesday popped off. We got a Hypno raid. Everyone was loving it. Tuesdays, 11 p.m. Me, ABF, Hayden. We got a new politics show, and it's a hell of a lot better than Ironheart Bad Chemistry. Marvel, we got Deadpool. That was great, right? Everyone's liking Marvel, right? Well, now we got Riri. Well, all right, awesome. What else do we have coming out? Superior Avengers. Okay. All right, let's see. Who do we got? Oh, female Black Panther with side head shaved. Awesome. Oh, sorry, no, wait, that's Killmonger. Sorry, I apologize. Female Killmonger. And then we have, what's this? Female Dr. Ock. Interesting. And then we just have Abomination. It's Captain America. He just looks like Doom. All right. So then we have Ghost, who is, you guessed it, I assume, Asian with short hair. I don't know who Malekith is, but this is actually kind of cool. All right, and then we have Onslaught. I don't know who the Skeleton Bro is, but he's your new Magneto. Yay, I'm hyped for the new Avengers. How about the new Champions? Let's go through these really quick. All right, Price, you stop me when you recognize any of these characters. Liberty. Tech prodigy. Yes, woman who's a tech prodigy. I can't wait. Actually, she's got red hair and she actually...
Don't know what this is.
Oh, that's because it's from Spider-Woman number 7.
Oh, okay.
And then we have Cadet Marvel. He's like Captain Marvel, but he's a man. So he's just a Cadet Marvel. Oh, he's also from Spider-Woman number 7. That's probably why you haven't heard of him. Then we have Moon Squire, aka Jaron Johnson. I'm just gonna say this. I'm assuming he is black.
Is this like Moon Knight? Is this like Moon Knight? But instead of Moon Knight, it's like some
Can't
idiot?
hear you, chat. I believe, I don't know. I assume it's Moon Knight, but black kid. And then we got Hellrune. She does magic. She's like Thor, but a girl with pink hair inside a head shaved. And then we got Gold Tiger. She's from Wakanda. Moratorium hair. And then we got Phantasma, opens portals to hell. Actually, I support that. And then we got
Female Venom. What was that?
I don't know. I'll just end it with Amaranth, guys. Anyone want to tell Marvel why maybe we shouldn't have a redheaded new character named Amaranth? Anyone want to tell Marvel why that's not the best
wasn't
idea?
She the one with boobs that did like OnlyFans?
Never heard of her. I don't know who you're talking about, Price. I've never heard of her.
OnlyFans or boobs or something. I
She
don't
threw
know.
a cat or yes, no boobs. You're correct. Yes. All right, Price. Apparently, chat's kicking us out of here. Anything you want to plug before we go?
No, just my channels. I guess Price of Reason. If you want to watch my Den of Thieves 2 review, maybe you'll like it.
No one else did.
You'll be that one viewer that watches my Den of Thieves review on Price of Reason, or you can subscribe to Price of Reason Live every Tuesday and Thursday at 11:45 p.m. I do a live stream, and then I guess I'm on a bunch of other things, but nobody's gonna remember it anyways.
Yeah,
so.
I know. Thank you. Some people don't realize that. You're the best. And chat, you're even the bestest. If you hadn't heard, go watch Open Bar. Our boy Badger's going to be on it with some big old Star Wars fans. And Rossi's going to be in that chat, sending all the super chats simping for Badger. I can't wait. Thank you for all the support, guys. We will see you tomorrow.
So long, and thanks for all the fish.
Oh, the camera's on. The camera's been on the whole time, huh? I don't even know. Hello.
Screw you guys. I'm going home.
Good, then get the hell out of my life. Who needs you? Beat it. Leave me alone.
I needed to get rid of the human garbage, otherwise known as my best friends.
Come on.
Bonnie, how do you keep getting back in?
Well, bye.
If we're not back by dawn, call the president.
And don't you worry, I will save all of the Black History Month variant cover